Coming to you live from Split, Croatia, day one of Cosmosverse, and we are here with Vincent, VP of Growth at Lumera. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
So Lumera Chain or Lumera Network?
Lumera Protocol.
Lumera Protocol. For those that don't know, what is Lumera?
Lumera is a new layer 1 built on the Cosmos SDK.
Okay.
And we're very much focused on, decentralized permanent storage, as well as an inference layer, and then eventually, as well as an MCP layer that enables agents to basically route, through our network.
So have you guys started to really look at the X402 stuff that has started to pop up as well?
For us right now, we actually just launched our decentralized permanent storage.
Yeah.
And I think the next, huge focus that we're really focused on is the inference layer, and then eventually the MCP. So right now, we're actually partnering with as many projects as we can to, onboard them on our decentralized permanent storage.
Okay.
And I think, especially with everything that's been going on in the world right now, the AWS outage, all of that, I think it's becoming more and more critical to have these decentralized services.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that as we were talking earlier, you always like to remind people that there doesn't need to be one solution that fits all.
Yes, yes.
And so where do you think, what kind of protocols and projects do you think actually fit best with Lumera, or that Lumera fits best for?
Actually, for us, one of the reasons why we built on Cosmos is because of the interoperability. They're very focused on that, and so for us, when we immediately build on Cosmos, we now have access to all these networks within the Cosmos ecosystem.
Yeah.
So like any project, like I think the large projects that people could think of, like Injective, DYDX, all of those things, they very much have the ability now to utilize our decentralized storage services. So for example, like let's just say, hypothetically, if these services, they want to archive their order books data and all of that, they can easily do that through us now.
Yeah.
And if they're using our token, Loom, to pay for those services, they can also easily swap between their native token to our token to facilitate those automatic storage services as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so how long have you guys been around for?
So actually, we previously were a Pastel network, and we were built off of a fork of Zcash, a layer 1.
Yeah.
But earlier on this year, we announced our transition into the Cosmos ecosystem, and we actually publicly announced our mainnet in September. And so we're fairly new into, I guess, this space.
Yeah.
And yeah, right now, we had a really, really strong growth in our ecosystem, in our community. Previously we were around 15K followers on Twitter. We've grown significantly to now like close to 65,000.
Nice.
And we're really expecting to hit 100 by the end of the year.
Congrats.
Yeah.
So the question we got to always ask sometimes when projects move into the Cosmos ecosystem, what was it about, and if you can answer it or not, what was it, why Cosmos?
Yeah, I think, Cosmos for a little while, maybe they were a little bit struggling on their direction.
Yeah.
But after they acquired Skip and then rebranded to Interchain Labs, I think there's a heavy focus on interoperability, as you see with the EVMOS and all of that. And I think, once that matures a bit more, I think there's the next focus I foresee them, focusing on is integrating within the Solana ecosystem.
I feel like I have heard that is the next step for Eureka.
Yeah, and I think, once all these bridges, connectivity occurs, it will actually unlock a lot of liquidity into the Cosmos ecosystem.
Yep.
And I think, at the end of the day, people just don't want to think as much, as hard of oh, how do I bridge from X to Y or Z to A? You kind of want to have more of a seamless kind of experience, ultimately.
No, you want to be, this item might cost this, but you only have this.
Yeah.
And so it's a really cool thing within the entire IBC ecosystem.
Yeah.
So one of the things then, that we see here is what's in it for the average person.
Yeah, I think for the average person, as the ecosystem matures a lot more, the user experience will ultimately be much smoother. I think one thing it's at the end of the day, multi-chain wallets is the greatest, I guess, initial use case for users to kind of experience that whole thing. I think, as these kind of integrations happen across the different ecosystems, swapping from one token to another becomes much easier.
Yep.
They don't have to think about oh, I have to go to Uniswap or whatever.
I have to go get another wallet too.
Yeah, it's okay, I do this on the wallet, and on the back end of the wallet, it does everything for you.
Yeah.
And then you get to your end results, which is ultimately the user doesn't care about what happens in the back end. They just want to see this is the end result, and I achieved that, and that's what's the most important.
And is it on chain?
Yes.
All right, awesome. And so obviously, I'm going to correct you. You are building an EVM chain on the Cosmos SDK.
So right now we haven't made that upgrade yet.
Okay.
That will be coming later on this year as well.
All right.
So at the end of the day, our main focus was getting these services up and running first.
Yeah.
Once that's all done, EVM OS integration will all happen.
Okay.
The chain upgrade will happen, and then we're super excited. There's a lot of interest. I think right after my presentation earlier on, a lot of people came to the booth to ask me more questions, things like that. So, I would say, come follow us on Twitter at Lumera.
Can you spell that out for the algorithm?
Yes. Well, you can also see here our logo, Lumera. But yeah, our community is growing very strong. We have a lot of, marketing initiatives going on. So if you follow us, you can definitely get some airdrops here and there. And I think a lot of people are always, happy to get that.
Yeah.
We're aiming for our token to be listed on a centralized exchange in the coming month. But sometimes some of these things, there's delays. And if that doesn't happen, by the end of November, then we'll probably push it, to the new
next year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, any last things you want to say before we wrap this up?
For us, we're super excited. Our chain has had a lot of support from the community. When we first launched testnet, there were over 200 validators that were interested in supporting us, and that support remains very strong. We're going to be launching our Supernode program in the coming weeks. So if you have experience running validators, Supernodes, things like that, come check us out. We have a lot of incentives and programs to help people get onboarded. And I think, there's a lot of exciting announcements coming with, other projects within Cosmos and our integrations with them. And so I would say, we're definitely a project to follow.
All right. And I know you gave your Twitter. What is your website?
Yeah, Lumera.io.
All right. You heard it here. Cosmos, day one. Let's go.
Pleasure.